You know, I'm not very smart. Seriously. Maybe even be a little bit ignorant. I'm going to talk about that just a little bit, talk about some fishing stuff, talk about the old bass boat stuff and some of my thoughts. Another beautiful November afternoon. I'm not real bright, not even close. So here we go with some more visiting, mostly about bass fishing. But the reason I'm ignorant is I have a fairly successful YouTube channel, my Hickbilly Outdoors channel, where I do a lot of arrowhead hunting's the most popular thing, but trapping, hunting, fishing, everything outdoors, not technically bass fishing, although of course over the first 2 years or so I did that. There's a lot of good bass fishing videos on there, and I can't get them transferred to this channel. It's a pain in the butt. Windows 11 won't let me, if you can believe that. The fact is, YouTube pays me some to do those videos. Now, I don't work it hard enough. It turned into a job. I don't want to be a paid actor. So here I am doing these bass fishing videos on a bass fishing channel that has a few people watch, and I really appreciate y'all that do. There's a few people get kicks out of it. I get some interesting questions. I have some friends that watch this, which I appreciate. But it's kind of ignorant. I could be out here doing stuff, getting paid for it. I'm doing the bass fishing stuff. But bass fishing was the first love of my life. Well, mostly. I mean, I started trapping when I was 10 years old. I fished ever since I can remember. Started bass fishing when I was 12. Got serious about it at 13. And then that winter, I read about Rick Clunn winning the 1977 Bassmasters Classic. I realized that there was a whole world out there, and I decided I wanted to do it for a living. How's that for really ignorant? Didn't work out well, whatever. So I got this old boat. That's what we're going to talk about. All that was a prelude, me wandering on another beautiful 60-something degree November day, fixing to come to an end. Got this gout in my knees bothering me. I can't get off of it long enough to let it heal up, blah, blah, blah. My boat's ready to go. Tackle's ready to go. Have a tournament Tuesday. Probably won't fish till Tuesday. Here this Saturday afternoon, we're going to talk about bass boats, about inexpensive old bass boats, and why I don't need other things other than the fact that I'm too poor to worry about it. So that's what we're going to talk about. I could go borrow money like everybody else. I don't know. Interest, somebody told me the other day, is 18%. You pay for a bass boat now for 15 years. It's like a house. I don't get that. I'm too poor to do that. I'm not going to attempt that. I could go borrow the money. I get a newer truck, whatever. I hope I'm smarter than that. Meanwhile, my old Tiecraft bass boat, 1998, gets the job done. Matter of fact, it does an exceptional job. It's so stable and rides good. But there's issues, but there's also things that I don't want to fix. I'm going to start at the motor. Now that motor is an old school 1998. I sold it brand new to these folks in spring of 99. It's an EFI Mariner Mercury, same thing. Runs tremendous. It's fairly fresh on a rebuild. Compression's perfect. It runs really good. If you haven't watched my videos before, you need to watch them. I talk about that motor. Had its compression checked. But it's still old school technology. I would like to have an Optimax, a newer Mercury for it. And that's the only new generation two-stroke I'd put on there. Evinrude, not going to happen. Not a big fan of the Yamaha. The HPDI is not a fan. And Yamaha builds good stuff, and never was a fan of those motors. So that would be an upgrade that I would like to have. As far as a four-stroke, if I could find a good used four-stroke, probably not a Mercury. If I could find a Suzuki or Yamaha four-stroke 4 or 5 years old, I'd probably do that. The main reason, fuel economy, fuel economy, fuel economy. Dependability, some, but fuel economy. Oil. whatever. It's been pointed out how much money I would spend to gain a newer motor, newer technology over what I spend on gas. The thing is, if I run 20 miles in that motor hard, I'm running 12 gallons of gas to it. It's hard on gas. Motor runs good though. Don't need nothing else. And I don't run a lot anyway. Right now, fine. Talk about power poles. I thought those things were pretty genius. They're genius. Power poles, whatever the other companies are calling them. But how much good would I really get out of a pair of power poles? I think the coolest thing I could see use for with them is putting a boat on the bank at tournaments and things, or like my wife and I rock hunting down at the lake without driving the boat up on the bank. You can park that boat in a foot of water at the nose, drop in poles, anchor it without touching the bottom with the boat. Pretty cool for $5,000, $6,000, whatever they are now. As far as fishing, how often do you really use them? I mean, I've caught my share of bed fish and wish I could hold a boat still. Don't get me wrong. Well, look at my john boat. I still have my bass boat, john boat. Check this out. And there's a shallow water anchor, aka power pole, on my john boat bass boat. Thought it'd be pretty handy. I used it twice in a year and a half. But boy, when you use it, it does work. It works excellent. I mean, it stops that boat on a dime. So, no. $5,000-$6,000, no. It's just, and everything I talked about here, if y'all got that, if y'all love it, because some of the stuff y'all definitely have, you definitely want, you definitely maybe need. I don't. I fished for a lot of years the way I'm fishing now and caught a lot of fish doing it. Okay, yeah, I'm living in the past. Depth finders. I am not going to do forward-seeking technology. I ain't going to do it no matter what. I used to say that you put me on the front deck of a bass boat, I was as good as anybody on the planet. For a short time, I think I was about as good as anybody. For a short time. Everybody. Larry Nixon, Rick Clunn, Roland Martin, whatever. For a while. Well, I was close enough. I was good. I need experience, but I was good. Nowadays, that front deck is not the same as it used to be with the forward-seeking technology. I cannot keep up with some of those guys, although the way things been lately, it ain't been that hard. But when they wax you, they're going to wax you. I don't need it, don't want it, I've accepted that. I've had this boat now since April, had these depth finders on it since May or June, the way I have it set up now. The front flasher, I use the front depth finder is a 7-inch graph. I use it as a flasher only. I've had it on graph one time. I use it as an old-fashioned flasher. I'm not real happy with sensitivity in shallow water. I need to research that. It gets really stupid in less than 4 or 5 foot of water. But I use it for depth and time. It's got a clock on it. The one on the console is another 7-inch. It's a fancier touchscreen, all that. I kind of wish it was a 9-inch. Just because I'm old and a bigger screen would be better. That depth finder has been on side scan twice ever. 2D sonar, an old-fashioned 2D sonar, not the traditional sonars I don't hardly use that new chirp stuff. Partly because I don't understand it, partly because I don't think I can see what I want to see on it. Maybe I need to do some more study on that too. I use that thing more often than not for charts or for mapping. The maps. That crazy 2-foot contours I wish we'd had in the 70s and 80s. Oh, my gosh. It's set on the topography stuff. It's set on the maps of the lake most of the time. Because I'm old and old school. Maybe this winter some I'll do some more graphing. I graphed a creek the other day looking for shad. So it does, like I did back in the 80s. I wish it was a bigger screen. I was trying to save money. Actually, when I ordered, I couldn't get a 9-inch. I'm not going to pay the crazy money, whatever. There was a 10-inch was on sale for $1,000. I was just too tight. Just because of older eyes, bigger screen, a little more detail, whatever. But I'm living with it. It's been fine. My boat has hydraulic steering. I would not have a modern bass boat with a V6 or V8 motor without having hydraulic steering. It's just safer. Not that it's easier, because actually it's more turns lock to lock. People don't realize that. You got to really turn on one, but it's safer. They can fail, and they're an issue when they do, but still, I won't have one. So that is a convenience. You want to get real specific. The trolling motor is probably the biggest thing I cheated on that folks will argue with me on. And it's fine. This is my opinion. I have a Minn Kota Maxim 70-pound thrust. Same trolling motor I ran in the 90s. Except foot control. I was a hand control guy. How old school is that? I was a hand control guy my whole tournament career. I still think a hand control would be pretty handy, but Minn Kota does not make a hand control in the modern style motors that have the pulse modulation. They're easy on batteries. How's that? Motor Guide has one. You can't give me a Motor Guide. I ain't gonna do it. I don't care if it got better. I ain't gonna do it. So I didn't even do the 4-tracks, the more modern version. For one thing, they weren't available. They're a lot of money. Everything goes back to money. A neighbor down the road, customer at a restaurant, had a almost brand new trolling motor, Minn Kota, when I got this boat. This boat had an old trolling motor on it. I wanted to replace it. He gave me a heck of a deal on it. And I brought it home, and the very next day, had another guy offer me a super deal on this Maxim, which is, the bracket and stuff's a little bit better for the bass boat, so I went with that one. So I got good deals all the way around on that. Brand new, still under warranty trolling motor. You know, it's pretty good. I've used that warranty once. I have used the Minn Kota Ultrex on a friend's boat with spot lock and all that. 101-pound thrust. Man, they're awesome. The spot lock, I get it. The main thing I use the spot lock for would be when I catch a fish, turn the boat, get it a few feet away where I'm safe, hit spot lock, and then go worry about the fish. And that way, the boat's not screwing up other fish or whatever. There's several things involved there, but $2,600. What last time I priced one, they probably went up. That's the original Ultrex. They got the high dollar version. The high dollar version now, $2,600. I can buy this Maxim brand new for about $1,000, which is crazy. The last one I bought was $600 brand new. Am I tight? Am I frugal? Am I poor? All yes to all the above. What I did not like about the Minn Kota, and I'm sure is true about the Garmin and the Lowrance and maybe the Power Pole trolling motors, maybe the new Motor Guide, I didn't like that noise. They're noisy. You can hear them. Watch fishing videos. Watch the guys use them. You can hear it through the boat. You can hear it come through the hole in the camera. I don't like noise when I'm fishing. They're handy. But I also started seeing or hearing stories about the guys with their forward-seeking sonar, about them trying to catch up with the fish and the fish leaving them, moving away. Don't you think some of that's that fish are getting used to that? Maybe they're getting pinged, okay, with a transducer, maybe, but I think they're getting that noise, that trolling motor. I think they're noisy. I don't like that. If I had extra $1,000, would I buy one? I don't think so. I think I'd do a 4-Trex old school trolling motor first. And there's just 10 more pounds of thrust in a 24 volt. And there again, 112 pounds of thrust, whatever they are. And 120, whatever, hundreds of pounds of thrust compared to my 70. Y'all at 70 has never come close to failing me in that boat. Now, I know the guys that fish the current. Fishing current seams. Things like that, I get where a 36 volt with more pounds works. I don't have a need for it. I fish a pretty serious current. And too serious a current to fish in. I didn't have the seams. And I got by. I don't think I'm suffering. I'm not trying to quantify the fact that I can't afford the stuff. I'm trying to say that I don't think I need it. If you do, great. Spot lock, True North, all that stuff. $2,600 is a cheap trolling motor now. You can spend $5,000 on a trolling motor, something we used to call a throwaway item back in the day. And I know they're all having problems with those motors. Too many little things in trolling motors go wrong. I don't like it. I don't want them little circuitry and wires and stuff. I don't like it. That's why I didn't do it. If there's one thing I would have splurged on this new boat to me, my new old bass boat, would have been a higher dollar trolling motor. Right now I'm tickled with this one. Yeah. I'm trying to justify myself, but I don't have to. It works. I've got a boat that runs good, rides good, fishes tremendous. I don't want the technology. I don't need more pounds thrust trolling motor. So a guy goes and buys a brand new boat, puts all this stuff on it, all this bling, all this cool stuff, because he thinks he has to have it. Do you really have to have it? How often are you going to use those power poles? And man, they suck when you're on the back deck fishing. Pang, clank. Oh my gosh. I'll show you one I designed sometime. It's better. I'll send the drawings. And I did a power pole and see what they say. You can spend $40,000 on extra stuff on a bass boat. Depth finders, power poles, trolling motor, $40,000 above the original cost. Or probably more. It's all about the fish and the fishing and God's nature and the way things work for me. So I was just thinking about that on a pretty day. What else would I do? What else do you have to do? What do you need? I've upgraded, aerators, bilge pumps, the stuff you have to have. I'm having some valve issues. I'll probably just go through and replace all the valves this winter. I'm having a hard time getting to work. They've got wear on them, whatever. I imagine they're the original or so, 25 years old. That's more important to me than a modern trolling motor. Stuff like that has to work. Props, I could really use have my prop cleaned up. I don't have a perfect prop. Nobody does. It'd be nice to have a blueprinted prop or another new prop. Props are crazy expensive. Mine works. It's not out of balance. It's not causing issues. If it was, I'd fix it. No power poles. No high dollar depth finders. Surely no forward seeking radar love. Pretty simple stuff. That's the way I am. That's the way I run. I just thought I'd talk about that. What do you need? What don't you need on a bass boat? Let me know what y'all think. Don't get hateful. Most guys are just loving it. People cannot believe. Well, did you ever use one of these new trolling motors? Yeah, I've used them. I think they're noisy. I think a lot of things go wrong with them. And I think I catch plenty of fish. Well, maybe not lately, but I catch plenty of fish with the old school trolling motor. I put that insert in the deck, get that trolling motor pedal down. They can make those better too, but put a 3-bank battery charger in the boat. Stuff like that is really useful. Handy, that's what it comes down to. What's handy? What's useful? What do you need? You need first. Handy, useful, basically tied next. What kind of bling do you have to have? Do you have a wrap boat? That's an extra $3,000 or $4,000, isn't it? That's all I got. Probably boring, but I'm not shooting no arrowhead videos on my channel. It makes me any money. I'm shooting bass fishing stuff. God bless you guys. We'll talk at you later. What a beautiful day.